What's up everybody, Rod here. This is my second attempt at making this video after I rambled on for forever. Moral of the story is, I got this cheap throttle assembly off of Amazon. I'm not super happy with it. First of all, it looks huge. I was not expecting all of that. Maybe I'm just not used to new bikes, but that seems a little excessive in comparison to everything else. I may swap handles just so it doesn't look like, tiny handle, and then you got this big honking thing. I did adjust the tack a little bit. It was kicked in a little bit, so I have that moved out. It's more or less straight up and down. I need to clean it, obviously, but making the bike pretty is going to be stage 3, basically. I want to make it run, and then I want to make it move. Mobile, rideable, and then after that is load apart, shine it up, put it back together. But yeah, this was supposed to be yellow. I don't know if you can really tell. The tank is yellow. There's some yellowish there. Gold. That's like, that is OSHA approved right there. That's like high visibility green. I don't know. I'm really not happy with that color, but if that's the worst of it, then so be it. I don't know if I had the tank mounted the other day, but seat is on the hinges. I'm missing one of the bushings. It's got one up here, missing the one back here, so that's a little loose. What else did I do? That's about it. But yeah, tank's mounted. What I did is took whatever this cabinet thing is, chopped that off of there, and used a piece. So I have the bolt coming up through it in the middle, and it's literally just hose clamped to the frame right now. I'll make something better unless I find the one that I had that was a pretty decent piece. But it'll work to mock it up. And if I can beef it up a little bit, it might work good enough just for everything. Wiring I gotta fool around with. I think this wire was added to replace this wire, but I don't want to assume that and cause an electrical fire, so that's where I wanted that. That's a good spot. There we go, it looks great. Carburetor's coming on the slow boat from China, so that's like 2 weeks out, if not more. We'll see how impatient I get. I may throw voltage to it and let it run without a slide. Or at least see if it's got spark anyway. That will be easy enough. But this wiring is like hacked. We've got that's duct tape, definitely, and then we have a butt connector going to a different color wire with an OE style bullet connector. And then, like I said, I'm pretty sure they cut that wire and added in this other one, which was like 5 miles long. And it had a butt connector on it, but the other end, if I can find it, that would have been these two, was that. So we have bare wire, and that's 12 volts hot out of the dynamo, but the butt connector was like here. This is all that exposed, and of course it was wrapped in a billion miles of electrical tape. I don't know, I've got some work to do, but with this one being as hacked as it was, I don't have to worry about cutting up an original harness, I can just start fresh with some wiring diagrams and go from there. This bike, eventually it'll have turn signals, but right off the bat it's just going to be battery and voltage regular somewhere in that neighborhood. Ignition switch I think is going to end up here. I'm going to have one set of switches on this side. I think I'm going to leave that side alone and just run, looking at like what's on my Buell Blast. So there'll be turn signals, headlights, which would normally be high beam, low beam. I'm just going to have that as on off. And then horn button I may make like a kill switch. But we'll see what happens. Just looking to make it run for the moment, and then we'll worry about what it needs to see the road. Might need a new tire. Slightly dry rotted. It's going to need a new sprocket. I didn't show that off. This one I think is still pretty good. It's not as bad as the rear one, so that must mean it's good. Or something like that. Yeah, I can't think of anything else I've really accomplished. Oh, my fuel tank's made out, I showed you that. My gas cap. My solution for it just having a hole in it was I made the hole bigger. Popped this 1/4 inch bulkhead fitting in. I'm going to zip this flush with that nut there. And then I'll either have one of the little vent hoses with a check valve, or may run a long hose just up and out of the way like some of the older bikes had. Something like that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Nothing else to report, I don't think. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.